Hello everybody and welcome to the first ever Esports Fashion Week, where we're celebrating fashion and the incredible designers in this brand new and exciting space. Now, I'm Asha Van Praag. I'm going to be your host for the next few hours as we take you through some of the hottest brand new collections from the industry leaders at the moment, and we're also going to be talking to some of the brilliant minds behind them. I hope you guys are excited as I am. I can't wait to get into it. So, I bet you're wondering, how is this all going to work? Let's have a look at the schedule to see exactly what is going to be coming your way today. We, of course, do have our pre-show for everybody to talk about exactly what this space is. You're probably wondering that at home. Hey, what is Esports Fashion Week? Well, don't worry, we're going to be talking you through it. Then we have some of the most incredible fashion shows coming your way. We have Hacks, We Are Nations, Exet, and September Doves, all to look forward to all day long. Now, before I do introduce you to a few more members of the Esports Fashion Council, you guys might be still a little bit confused about what Esports Fashion is. And if you are wondering why we're all getting so excited about it, check this out.
Instincts going low, looking bad like a bat with an eye patch. Looking like a zoo in here, whole crew in here. What it do in here? Think I lost my mind. Loose screw in here, then I walk outside. And everybody looking at me while I got them all in my sights. Picking them off, taking them out, looking like daylight in the night. And I'm killing so many if they really want to get involved. And everybody falling from the elevator, now I'm Bray Rice in this. It's like I'm rice and take a bite, it's nice. And I have a nice time with it. By the time that it finds the way to kill, I've been feeling like the opposite of work. It's a work and it never been a purposeful thing to me. I just do what I love and it works for me. So I'm freaking every check, I put the money in the pushing. Ready to be gunning to the finish and the getting of it. But everybody know I'm working in the sky, I do it differently. So only time will give me everything that I deserve, my id.
So now you have a little bit of information of what we're doing here, and now it's my absolute pleasure to introduce you to the fashion gurus of this industry. We have three incredible people joining us on the show today. We have Shady. He is the content creator for Rise Nation, community manager for Astro Gaming, and an avid lover for sneaker culture, if you couldn't tell behind him, because look at that collection. We also have Azalea. By day, she can be found 30,000 feet in the air as a flight attendant, but when she's got her feet on the ground, she'll either be modeling or on Twitch as a content creator, one of the ones to watch for in this industry. Absolutely incredible to have you here joining us. And Barney, you are an esports host, up and comer. You are here, there, everywhere, jetting around the world, in Poland right now, but you also do model with his own clothing brand called Mr. Banks. You have done it all, my friend, but it is an absolute pleasure to have each of you joining us here today. And Shady, mate, I'm going to start with you, man, because we need to talk. You know, fashion seems to be something very close to your heart. I can tell behind you, it's a dead giveaway that you're into sneaker culture. But what else are you into, Shady, in terms of fashion, especially in esports? What really takes your fancy?
I like where it has gone right now recently. A lot of brands are taking like chances, and they're just pushing the boundaries of fashion, what fashion is in esports. Back in the day, we used to only see like brands slap a logo on a jersey and call it like, you know, whatever it is. But now you see these brands just taking it to a whole nother level. It's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Shady, you have all the invites, my dude. I keep up with your social media. I saw that you went to the 100 Thieves party, obviously launching their brand new Foundations collection. It was absolutely incredible. It looked like a bunch of fun. Tell me more about it, man. You know, what was the experience like? What was it like being able to kind of come close to some of the collection, be able to feel it, see it, but also party too?
Yeah, 100 Thieves has created a powerhouse over the last few years, and they definitely been taking over the fashion space as far as gaming. The party was amazing. They had every piece of their new clothing on display. You can go up, you can touch it, you can check it out. They had photo booths everywhere. They had a live performance. Everybody that's in LA in esports, and people flew in from esports was there. And what Matt created with 100 Thieves has been amazing. And that party just showed everything full circle.
None of us are jealous, by the way, Shady. None of us are jealous. Just throw that out there.
Jealous.
It was a banger. It was fire. It was fire.
It looked like it. The clothes looked pretty damn fire too, so they had to make sure that the party was up to the standards. That's for sure. Azalea, it's so lovely to have you joining us. You know, You always look so gorgeous in your social media. You can tell that you keep up with fashion. And I have noticed quite a few modeling photos also on your social media. How did you get into fashion? How did you get into the world of modeling? Where did it all start for you?
Honestly, I was just, I think I was about 20 years old, and a photographer had approached me, and yeah, the rest was kind of history. We worked together several times, and then I got approached by Van Styles, who has like a skateboarding company, and he does streetwear apparel as well. And I collabed with him and did a skateboard and a couple photo shoots with him. So it's just been a really cool experience, and it's kind of just evolved from there, you know?
Yeah, that is absolutely awesome. And I think obviously talking about evolving, that is something we are trying to bring light to here in terms of esports fashion and that ever evolving industry as well. You know, what really, takes your eye about esports fashion, and where do you think it's going to be going?
Honestly, this is such a cool time for esports fashion. I know Shady kind of touched on it a little bit, but so many different esports organizations working with new brands. I mean, we saw it with Gucci. We saw it with FaZe actually collaborating with artists. There's just so many different things and avenues so many different avenues it's going down, which is so cool. And it's kind of expanding and becoming this streetwear kind of space that it really wasn't before, which I love because I'm a big streetwear person. So yeah, it's really cool. It's just a really cool time.
Me too, girl. Me too. I streetwear till I die. Absolutely love it. Barney, I've got to say, man, when it comes to your background, modeling, fashion, it really does speak to me when I think of you. But now you're also on the other side of things. You have your own clothing brand, Mr. Banks. What has the transition been like after wearing other people's clothing, modeling it, and having success in that, but then having to create that yourself? What has it been like?
I mean, first of all, what's going on, Lottie? It's great to see you. It's been so long since you've been in London with me, and now you're over there in the States. Can't believe it. But I've been working in the fashion industry for like 9 years now, and the esports industry for 2 years. So it's great to see that there's loads of crossover now, and it's all happening. I've been going from high street all the way up to kind of luxury, working in, let's say, from H&M to Burberry, and that kind of experience. So getting to see the extra steps taken and the different amount of money spent on creating garments has allowed me to kind of broaden my understanding of like how the industry actually works in terms of fashion. So being able to apply, okay, I'll take a bit of that and a bit of that. Let's not make it, too overly expensive to produce so that you don't have to charge crazy amounts for it. But it's a balancing act, isn't it? And I mean, like Shady and Azalea have already touched on, some of the brands that approaching the esports world and how it's growing and thriving is so amazing. And I've got to touch on right now, at a partnership level as well, we've got Ralph Lauren now involved in the esports industry. How cool is that? Ralph Lauren with G2, that's amazing. So creating my own apparel it's kind of been I was going to say easy. It's not easy. It's definitely not easy. But as in, I've been wanting to do it. I've been wanting to do it for so long that I've just known what I've wanted to do for so long. And then learning as you go along as well, sourcing out different fabrics and going to different, countries as well to go to factories or to, source out the garments, the different materials, things like that. It's a great learning curve, and it's a better helping the understanding, which is what I think is great about this right now. We're helping develop understanding about the fashion industry within esports. So yeah, it's all about education. Let's go.
Well, I'll tell you what, I could tell you're a pro because you've really transitioned me very nicely onto my next point for discussion, which thank you very much, Barney. Now, obviously, a lot of people are probably thinking, what is esports fashion? What is this? And we've kind of touched upon it just a little bit, but I'd love to open the floor to you guys to get your takes on it, get really your kind of indulgence on what you think esports fashion is. If you could kind of put it into a sentence, Shady, what would you say it is for you?
I feel like when you look at the word esports, you think about competition. And when you look at like Paris Fashion Week, you look at New York Fashion Week, it's all a competition at the end of the day. It's all these designers bringing their best, seeing who's going to steal the show. And it's going to be the same thing for Esports Fashion Week. You're going to have all these brands come in, showing what they're going to be dropping for this summer, for the winter collection. And it's going to be a competition. And I feel like competition is good for business. It's going to make people broaden their horizons. It's going to make people go outside their box more just to try to steal the show. So that's what I think.
Yeah, and we have like major collaborations happening as well. You know, that's something that obviously Barney, you touched upon there. We got Fnatic and Gucci, FaZe Clan, Lyrical Lemonade, which is obviously a music label. We have Fila and Verdansk 84. I mean, it's all happening, and you know, it keeps growing. The collaborations on collaborations, and I don't see it slowing down anytime soon. Barney, why do you think that is such a big part of esports right now? That is such a big part of how people express themselves.
I think it's how you enter the space, because I think what we have to look at this right now, also to help people at home understand that this is going to be a subculture within esports and gaming. So it is a culture within itself. So you've got to look at things like skating and, you know, streetwear, you know, Supreme and skating, like those two things like go hand in hand. And that's how that elevated both of those scenes. So by collaborating with brands outside of your industry, you're only going to elevate it. And I think we're just waiting until a really big one drops. Because, you know, we talked about Fnatic and Gucci. It was great. But Gucci dipped their toe in the pool. They didn't actually fully dive in. They, you know, okay, let's release a watch and let's see what happens. And, you know, but it'll be great to finally see when some brands really dive in and just the whole thing's going to explode. So I'm really excited.
Full clothing line. We want absolutely everything. Shelves up to the ceilings. We need it all, not just a watch. Love to see it. Love to see the toe being dipped in. Hopefully a plunge will be in the future. Now, I need to ask a question to everybody here, because this is a highly anticipated question. How far do you think we are away from 100 Thieves times Virgil Abloh collab? You know, like, how far away do you think we are from that happening?
I think we are very close, because I feel like a lot of these big brands is like a lot of these big brands are starting to see the power of gaming. They're starting to see the power of these streamers, the power of these influencers, and they want to get in. So I think we're super close.
I think what, like we touched on as well earlier about like the brands like getting involved and collaborating. I think it is when that first one dives in and goes whole collection, shoes, tracksuit, you know, jackets, the whole thing, then other brands are going to go, okay, this works. Now let's go. Now, whether or not it's going to be Virgil that does that, or whether it's going to be another brand, I mean, we're going to see who dives in first. It would be cool to see, wouldn't it?
Okay, so we might have Virgil on the horizon.
Too. Yeah, it'll be massive when it happens too. And like Barney said, once one person does it or one brand does it and collabs and does that massive collection, it's going to explode from there too.
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah, I think
Virgil, if you do it, don't do a brick. Don't do a Supreme brick or something. Don't do that. Do a full collection. Please, the audience, you know, let's go.
You can add the brick in. The brick can be part of it, but just we need more than the brick. The wall, potentially. Azalea, like we talked about, obviously, Virgil coming on board and stuff, but for you, in specifics, what collaborations do you see happening, hopefully, in the near future?
Honestly, I would love to see Balenciaga collaborate with an esports organization. I feel like they kind of have that kind of feel, and they have, you know, they kind of lean towards streetwear-ish stuff already. So I feel like that could be something that would be really, really cool to see in the future, and probably I would say might be one of the first few to kind of dip their toe in the water and see how it goes. I think that would be just awesome.
If Balenciaga went to a gaming event, they will see those runners everywhere. Everybody in gaming has those damn Balenciaga runners.
Yes.
I want to see an even bigger risk. I want to see an even bigger risk being taken, yeah? I want to see like a big brand, let's say Balenciaga, let's take them for example. Why don't they do a collaboration with like a tech brand, like a controller or something like that, or, you know, create some kind of... You know, because, I mean, we're always looking at apparel, 100%. But then within the gaming industry, there's so many more avenues, man. Would you buy a Louis Vuitton Tower PC?
Yes, probably.
Yeah, if you look at a lot of streetwear brands, that's dope that you said that, because a lot of streetwear brands have been doing that. You look at Antisocial Social Club, they did something with Astro Gaming, and they also did something, they created a PC. And Undefeated a while ago did an Xbox controller. It wasn't sold to the masses, but it was like a friends and family thing. So streetwear brands definitely been doing it. But you're right. I would love to see like Louis Vuitton do something with a PC company or stuff like that. It'd be sick.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, folks. We have...
Sorry.
That would be sick. That's a bit of me.
That'd be fire. That would be fire.
That's a bit of me. That's a bit of me. Well, there's a ton of questions that I think, we all have about this still, and we're learning. We're in this process with you guys. But you guys on social media also had a bunch of questions, and I have them in front of me. So let's quickly talk about it, folks. So it's Laura Bear right in. She asks, what is the message behind Esports Fashion Week? Laura, first of all, thanks so much for writing in. You are the best. I think this is a big one to take. It's a difficult one to explain, but I think it's a little bit different for everybody because fashion is so personal, and I think that is something that is incredible about it in itself. But I mean, Barney, from your aspect, what do you think is the message behind Esports Fashion Week? What would you say it is?
To actually create like a fashion week like this and allow people to have shows, demonstrations, I think that we're just here to shine a light on the people that are taking those first few steps, that are wanting to represent esports fashion within esports, whether it be apparel companies trying to enter the space or people within the space trying to create their own fashion and like let it fall under that umbrella of esports fashion. So we're here as a platform, and we're here to learn, like you've already said, and grow with you. And yeah, like I've just said, just to shine a light on it and to allow people to express themselves creatively in fashion.
Yeah, I think you nailed it. I think that's perfect. I think that is definitely a very, it was perfect, wasn't it? A little too perfect. Well, somebody else has also written in, and
closed script.
Has asked. Andrew Campion has asked, reason for conception and hope for the future of it. Shady, what do you hope for the future of this concept?
I just hope that I hope it helps brands see that they can't just stay in that same box they've been in for the last however many years. It's time to broaden those horizons. It's time to take risks. It's time to, instead of just slapping a logo on a jersey and calling it a day, or slapping a logo on a hoodie and calling it a day, it's time to take risks. And I feel like with Esports Fashion Week, it will show other brands like, yo, it's okay to take a risk. It's okay to take a risk and fail, or it's okay to take a risk and you might get a massive W. So that's my takeaway from what this will do for the culture.
Love that. Absolutely love that. Azalea, I need your help for this next one to be
Sure.
the fashion judge. Miles Ross Jr. has written in, but he has not only written in, he sent a picture as well. And the ticket is you got to click on the picture to be able to see this. But at first I didn't. However, when you do, you are opened up to a world of pure fashion. These leggings are quite something. And he wants to know if he can be on the board with a fit like this. What do you think?
I mean, I'm going to give the fit a 10 out of 10. Like Shady was saying, he took a risk, he put himself out there.
He definitely took a risk.
I don't know.
He did.
Are you actually trying to verify this? Like, he's taken a risk, he's got the tight fit. Come on, guys. Come on.
I don't know if we have some room right now for that big of a risk. I don't know if the world is quite ready yet. But I can respect it. I respect it.
Let him down gently, Azalea. That's okay. All right, Miles. Maybe next time. But no, we appreciate the fashion sense, and we appreciate the confidence. My God, the confidence you have to show to be able to put that into the world.
Yes.
And that is what it's all about. Fashion is about confidence. Absolutely incredible stuff. But I tell you what, we need to remind everybody of the shows that we have coming up. We, of course, have Hacks, We Are Nations, XSET, and September Doves, all showing us our brand new collections that will be coming to everybody very soon. Very, very excited. I think, looking at all the shows that we have coming forward, what should we be looking forward to? Obviously, every single brand is very different. That is the whole point of fashion, is to be very different from, your other competitors. But what are you guys looking forward to the most? Shady, is there a particular kind of fashion show that you're really excited to see?
I'm excited to see September Doves. First off, I love that name. And a name is huge for anything new. So, like, if you got the dope name, you got to bring the dope clothing behind it. So I'm looking forward to see what they have to bring.
Love that. I think it looks so cool. And they've been very like hush hush behind the curtain vibes, which is always very intriguing, I think. And it's always a very big, it's actually funny because it's a big statement while being a very small statement. You know that whatever's coming is going to be fire. I feel like that's the hype you get from something like that, which is really, really cool. Barney, are we about the kind of hush hush situation when it comes to fashion, not knowing what to expect when you see it first?
Oh man, like superior tactics throughout, because what are you doing right now by doing that? You're creating the demand, and then you can just see what you need to do with the supply. Create the demand, and then you can just foresee what you need to do with the supply, man. It's just great tactics. I love the hush hush thing about it. Obviously, we've got big people from the industry getting involved, both from behind the scenes and, a content creator himself, the creator of September Doves. I think it's going to be awesome, and I just can't wait to see what they're bringing to the table.
Me too. Azalea, is there a fashion show you're looking forward to the most?
I'm honestly looking forward to all of them. I'm interested to see how they go about it and how they go about showing their apparel and what they're doing and what they've been up to. I'm excited to see what everybody does and brings to the table.
Amazing. So am I. I honestly, I haven't got one that I'm looking forward to the most either, to be honest. I can't wait to see exactly what we've got coming our way. And speaking of that, folks, we're going to wrap it up right here because very shortly we are going to be bringing you the very, very new and exciting collaborations and collections we have coming all day. Make sure you stick around. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back with our first ever Esports Fashion Week show.